He parked in front of our garage and swore at my wife and mother-in-law, so I helped him apply for jobs. A few years ago, my mother-in-law flew in from across the country to visit my fiance, now wife and I, for a week. We live in an apartment in a busy part of downtown Vancouver, and our garage opens up into an alley right next to the entrance of the liquor store. We are often blocked in by people when trying to get home or leave. We've gotten into a few screaming matches with people before, but this one was my favorite or the worst. We were coming back pretty late in the evening, maybe around 8 to 9 p.m. This guy, let's call him Christopher, had parked right in front of our garage door and went into the liquor store to buy some booze. When he came back out and saw us in our vehicle waiting for him to move so that we could park and be home, he made some snotty comment that we couldn't hear while still in our vehicle and got into his car. We thought he'd drive away, but he just sat there, opened a "Hey y'all," and drank it while looking at us and laughing. I got out of the vehicle, walked over to him, and politely asked him to move so that we could get inside. I've gotten into too many screaming matches and just wanted to get home. And also didn't want my future mother-in-law to see me getting angry. He basically responded by telling me to fork myself and that he'd do what he wanted. I tried to explain that he was blocking our garage and asked him if he could just move up a bit so that we could get in. This escalated really quickly. He got out of the car and got really into my face. I, still not wanting to play out this situation in front of my future mother-in-law, stayed calm and just kept asking him to get back into his car and leave. Eventually, he started pushing me, clearly trying to start a fight. I called the police. While I was on the phone with them, he had put himself and his face centimeters from mine. I stepped back and put my arm out while still on the phone, and he walked into it. He started screaming about how I was assaulting him and how he needed police help. Because we were right downtown, the police arrived within a minute from when I had made the call, still on the phone with the operator the whole time. As soon as they arrived, he changed his tone and attitude completely. He started telling them a sob story about how I had approached him in his vehicle and threatened him. Luckily, my fiancé and future mother-in-law were still in the car and completely backed up my story. He was also parked illegally in front of my parking garage, so the police quickly took my side and demanded that he leave. As he got back into his car, the police noticed his open can of "Hey y'all" in the console, and immediately got him back out of the car and demanded that he perform a breathalyzer test. Unfortunately, he had finished the can before getting out. So he claimed that he had found the can on the road and was planning to bring it in for the 5-cent deposit. His alcohol level was also below the legal limit for driving, so the police couldn't do anything to charge him with driving under influence. The police stayed until he left, but the last thing he did before driving away was to throw his business card out of the window at me and ask, "You don't even know who you're messing with." I picked it up as he was driving away, already starting to plan my revenge, although with no idea of what I could do with his information. The next day, I looked Christopher up, and it turns out he was a freelance graphic designer. He has his own website with a bunch of his completed projects, and his full PDF, downloadable resume. I downloaded his resume and got to work. I started applying for jobs on Christopher's behalf. I had his real phone number, real address, and real full resume. He applied to every McDonald's in the area, Starbucks, TNT, grocery stores, movie theaters, literally any minimum wage jobs that I could find with a quick or easy application process. I must have applied for over 80 jobs for him, all using his real phone number and real resume. I kept this up for a few weeks, searching for more jobs whenever I had some free time. Unfortunately, I never got to see his face as he started getting callbacks. He was truly more than qualified for any of these jobs. But I like to think that for a month or two, he would receive phone calls throughout the week, asking to set up job interviews, thinking that it was for his graphic design work, only to be told that it was for McDonald's or Wendy's or wherever. A few months later, I went back to his website thinking that I'd start the process again. I mean, he pulled that crap in front of my fiancé and future mother-in-law. I was salty. but his website had been taken down or moved to a new URL. P.S. Do it mess with me in front of my family, or else I'll get you a job at McDonald's.